Hi, today I'm going to show you how to work with the SQL management and how to work with the database and how we can insert the data into database. For a start, let's should explain what we're gonna do today. The first of all, we're gonna to create a new database, which is it's optional, and then after creating database, we're going to create a table. After the table, we're going to declare our field in that table, which our field is we got three fields where we're going to declare in that table. The first of all is ID, which is int, which the type of that ID is int, and it is a primary key. And the second field is first name. First name is it's a type is an NYChar, and the last name is NYChar2, which is 15 character, and each one of these fields has contain 15 character. Okay, let's start with the database, and then we apply this then after declaring all the things and creating database, creating table, and declaring field, we're going to use this database in our application, which is a Windows application. Let us start with the SQL management. Open your SQL management, which mine is 2008 version. You can have another version, it's optional again. Open this and click connect database engine. For example, my name is here, and click connect again. Let it load the database. Okay, open the database node and click right on it. I already create a new database, which is called it is a test. Or we're going to for a demo, we're going to create another database. And I want you to get familiar with how to create a database in SQL Management Studio. Look, right click on the database and choose new database. Wait. And you can here database name. You can choose your name here, which is I'm going to call this real. Okay, tutorial. So and click OK. Here, new. If you see there, my database is added to my databases in my SQL management. So open the tab, open the node. And there is a lot of things here, table, views, which I'm going to create in data, create the table. The first stage of our application was creating database, which we created this one. So the second stage is creating table. So I'm going to create that table here. Click right on tables and choose a new table. So this this windows appears here. So the first field there was ID, which was the primary key. So I'm going to here type ID. Actually, let's type ID, and the type of that was integer. So and it is a primary key. I'm sure that you are familiar. I assume that you are familiar with SQL management. So there is no need to explain more about a SQL manager and how to create, how to declare a primary key. It's very easy. Click right on the field that you want it to be a primary key and set the primary key. Okay, just click this field. So it is here. So I want this primary key is created by itself. I don't want to specify the value for this. So I'm going to here. Here, let's repeat here. In the count properties, calm down, and select identity specification and just make it true. So, change it to yes. And whenever I insert the data in here, it increases the ID by itself. So I don't need to fill another. I don't need to fill that data. The field, sorry. And just okay. Okay, next one. This is first name. First name. Sorry. First name. what in var and last name again is in var again is in var. Okay, so we have our feed now. We have our database here, and we have our table. So after declaring your field, whatever you want, how many field you want, it depends on what's your situation, what's depend on your application. So I need this 3 field. Okay, and click this close, and this window appears. SQL Manager save the change the following item. Yes. So the enter name of table, I'm going to call it TBL user, and click OK. So I have my table, right? Okay, so so I'm done with database. I'm done with the SQL management. I created my database, I created my table, and even I identify and declared my fields that I'm going to use in my application. So I'm going to minimize it, and I'm going to yes, window. For this application, I'm using the Visual Studio 2012. For creating new application, go into menu file, create new and project. So I'm going to use C#. So I needed to select application, Windows form application, and you can use it can set your version of your framework here. So I'm going to leave it to 4 and 4.5. So I'm gonna call this application tutorial again. I'm going to save it in desktop. So click OK. So let Visual Studio load the form. So my form is created. So now what I'm going to do here right now, we had 3 fields. Okay, so one of them was ID, which is increased it's the auto increment, so we don't need to fill that data. So I need two text box. Where are you? Text box here. I'm gonna just copy this. I'm gonna copy this to here, and I'm gonna explain what are they needed for. I'll explain in later when we finish our application. So, and I need 2 labels too. Labels here. So I'm gonna just just call this first name. The second one is last name. So I think we are done with designing our form. One more thing, we need we need to for inserting, deleting, and update, we need 3 button. So going to menu our program, and we all Windows form. So we're going to where's button now up here. So the first one, and call it here and here. So here for showing our data, we need the new data grid view. So I'm gonna just drag it in my form, which is very necessary just in order to show the data onto user, that to make sure that data are saved in our database. So I'm just gonna just change this name, etn save. Etn delete. Etn update. So I'm going to change it, the text property, come down here and click save. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to call it update. So now I have my three bottom, which each one of them perform a different functions. The first one is the save, which is clear. It's going to save my data, these two field properties, into my database, and delete is delete them, and update is update those fields. So, and I need call this. So let's change the name of text boxes here. I'm going to call it txt first name. I'm gonna call this txt last name. I'm gonna call this txt feature, txt feature. I'm gonna call this txt id. So now we design our form here. We have our text boxes, we have our labels, which shows which one field is the first name, which field is last name. So what we are going to do here now, let's start with the database. How are we going to save our data into database? For beginning, we have, I'm going to show you the trick. I'm going to show you a trick. The first of all, drag the SQL database in your form. So which this window appear here, and select new connection. Select connection and change the data. So change the selected SQL. Actually, let's show you again. When adding when this window add connection appears here, you see here data source. Go click the change and select put the first one as priority. Select the first one, Microsoft SQL Server, and click OK. This appears here, and just type point and come down, and a server name, just type point, the key, and come down here, connect to database, select your database, which mine was tutorial, and test connection. So let's see here, test connection succeed. It means that I'm connected to that database, and click OK, and click OK here. No, I'm going to show you that trick. OK here, and click for here. Open the node and copy this string. Control C and click cancel. Please. OK. Open the source code here, and just go up and just paste it here. I'm not gonna mess this. Okay, copy this. Remember that for working with SQL management and SQL to database, we need something in the namespace. We need to say namespace system data point, which SQL client, and just Control C. Yeah, SQL client. This namespace allows us to connect to database, inserting data into database, and other more functions. Okay, here. So we declared our namespace, and we include our references here. So I'm going to declare my connection. For declaring connection, use type the keyword SQL connection. And in this case, I'm going to call this my cn equals new space connection, and just put it here, and quotation here, and just double quotation here, and just close this tag. Yeah. So easy. Yes, we have our connection here right now. So everything is ready. We have our connection now. What we're going to do here, just going to save our data. Open back to your form and click on the save button. Just delete this data, we don't need this. Okay, just click on the save button. Okay, so what we're going to do here, we need a command So we can this with by using this command we can save our data into database. So how to declare command in Visual Studio here? SQL command, sorry. Just type SQL command equals, and I'm gonna call this mycm equals new cm is going to be here. Yes. So we declaring how to insert data. We got different method to insert it. We can initialize it from here. We can initialize our command here, right here. Or now we can use you can use a command tag. For example, my SQL command has something in the name of mycm.insert command. Command set, command. MyCM has something in the name of command that we can use it in the data or update or even select. So I don't want to do this. I just want to initialize my command here. I'm just going to double quotation here and close it and declaring my connection here. Look here, you can string command text, which is I'm going to type it, and a SQL connection, which is going to be my connection I declared up here, mycm, and just control space. Yes, mycm. So now, how to insert the data into SQL database? Just type insert and insert into what was my table names, what table user, my name is table tbl user, what was my field. So did you remember that I put the ID into table primary key and increment by itself, so I don't need to insert that data. So if it escape this field, just type first name and last name. So and the value is going to be this. For this time I can use here. For this I can even initialize this here, and it can use a parameter. Let's just initialize it here. Okay. For example, I'm going to use this txt first name dot text. Okay, just here, and again here, put this here, and again here is going to be actually it's going to be txt last name dot text, and even dot trim. I hope you will be familiar with trim, because I don't want to explain it more, because it's an advanced class. So I don't need to explain all the field that I'm going to use here, on the objects, all the functions that I'm going to use here. So this is how do we do it, how to initialize our command, and we can use another way, which I'm going to show you in future. Let's just wait for a moment, and I'm going to execute my command. So mycm dot execute non-query, and so in order to make sure that my my data was saved into database, just let's just have a message box dot show here, and just type data was saved successfully. So it's okay, and just quotation here. So yeah, look, one more thing. When I want to execute my query, I should open my connection. So I'm going to mycm.open, click here, and after executing, I'm gonna just close it. Dot close. So let's just try this. Open, click start program. Just type it, actually type it A, and just type it A and click save. So, oh, sorry, I have a problem here. Just just install. So, I back. Sorry, we had a problem in our. Actually, when you initialize your command in the when you initialize your command, you have to put tag quotation here. You have to put quotation before double quotation here, and at the beginning even here and at the end. And even for a second field, you're going to have another tag quotation, double quotation plus your field, your property text, the text property of that control text box actually, and you close this double quotation, and actually this one, and again here. So just test it here to make sure that we are connected. JWeb or JJ. So save. So see here, the message box appear here. So our data was saved in our database. Okay, and click OK. So make sure to go to data, check this here, and table, click on table, and click right on it and edit to top 100 rows first. Just yeah, look here. Our data was saved here, and an ID was increased by itself. So SQL Manager will take care of the rest. So from till now we are okay. We don't have any problem. So I'm going to. So to give it a beautiful UI or program, I'm going to have something here. I'm going to create functions which read all the data from the database and show it to the and show it into datagrid. So I'm just going to create a function, public void. I'm going to call this show info. So I'm gonna just declare another thing. The first of all, data table. For using data, for showing the data, I'm going to I'm going to have a command, and then fill this command into data adapter, and after that, using that data adapter to fill all the data into data table, and after that, I'm going to put the data table as a source of that data grid. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just gonna call it dt equals new data table. Okay, and just SQL data adapter is called equals new data adapter. So for data adapter, I'm going to have a SQL command here. SQL command. I'm on mycn, not actually SQL command. For example, I'm gonna call this mycn equals new SQL command. Here I'm going to bring all the data from that data. So I need all the fields. So I'm gonna just select start from TBL user and declare my connection is mycn. Okay, I'm going to fill that data as it's going to mycn dot command text, and for the connection we're going to mycn again. So now I declared my as I said, I want all the fields from this table, which is called table user, and I needed for that, in order to show that to the user, I need a data adapter to fill that my command to that data adapter, and after that to that data table, and put that data table as a data grid source. So after so initialization is complete, so I'm going to declare da dot fill dt, just this, very easy, finished. I'm going to call data grid dot data source equals dt, yes, just to make sure that it's work. Actually, I'm gonna to put it to form load event. I'm going to show info here. Yeah, come on here. So just load it to notice is it work here. So it's work. Actually, it worked. Very easy. See? Okay. So yeah. So what is our next? Move on. We can use this function here whenever we click that date save. For example, I'm just gonna to, after closing, I'm gonna just show that show info on click, and after that just click here. Just, we don't need this actually anymore. Just stop. For example, on daa save. So see, one record added here. For example, another Crusader save. So one added again. So until now it's work. Now we're going to have to delete this ID. For deleting is a little complicated. So actually, when I want to delete, we can have a multiple field for as a condition. For example, this, if this field equals this one and this field equals this one, you delete this record. So I'm gonna just use the ID because of the ID are unique here. Okay. So, but before that, I wanna in order to make a user UI, I'm gonna just have a little bit trick here. On the text change event of the data grid, okay, go click on event and come down here and select text change, selection change. Okay, so on the selection change, I'm going to do something. The first of all, I want to get a current row of this data grid. For example, whenever user click each one of these fields, let's just start it. Whenever user click on this field, all the fields appears here. For example, if I click this, the first name goes to this one and the last name goes to this field. So in order to do that, selection actually data grid view has something, the name of row in the current row index. So I'm gonna just click in declare int equals, for example, selected row equals data grid dot current row dot index. So after that, now I have the index of that field. Okay, now I have the index, so I'm gonna use that index in order to fill all those those text boxes here. For example, and again here, txt first name equals dot text equals data grid dot rows, which I have the index of that rows, here rows, selected rows dot cell, the first cell is called is a 0, and actually dot value dot toString. So now here I declared that, so I'm going to call this txt last name dot text equals, and again txt id dot text equals. Yeah, just make a copy of this because I'm wasting time to just type all of them. Just here I'm going to call this 1, I'm going to use 2 and 0, and just cut it and put it here. Just a start in order to make sure it's work. So here look, the first name and the IDs come here, and I'm going to show you how to use this field because the most of the program don't show the ID to the user, so I'm going to make it invisible in future. Just make sure that it's working. Whenever I click in each one of these fields, even the third field, second field, the first one, the information comes here. See? So until now it's work. So now go to field. So just to delete the data, I need the data, I need the ID. So I'm going to just MySQL, actually SQL command again. I'm going to just call it mycm equals new SQL command, and that's again I want to initialize my command here, mycm. Okay, let's just type. Sometimes for deleting the IP, I'm gonna the first of all I'm gonna search. For example, I type here, for example, first name equals this one, and after that I'm going to search my database, and I'm going to follow the record that the ID is. I'm going to find the ID which the first name is called this one, the parameter I'm going to send that I'm going to send. For example, and I'm going to type this here: delete from TBL user. Just be patient, we're almost done. After deleting and updating, we are done, the application is done. So delete from TBL user where ID I'm going to use here select ID from TBL user where first name equals and last name, the last name equals going to be a txt first name dot text dot trim, and it's going to be a txt last name dot text dot trim. So I have my command here, so everything's done. Now even we have our delete. Just to in order to execute that, for example, we should open our connection here. After that, executing mycm dot execute query and just mycm dot cm dot close. And then after that, I'm gonna just call the show info again to show the data on the data grid. I'm just gonna show info again. Info. So I think we are done here. Just show that it work here. I'm gonna call this delete. It's deleted. Now I'm just gonna call this, for example, AA. Delete. It's deleted. I'm gonna go JJ delete. So it's worked. There is no need actually. So let's get back to work. We don't need this field, okay? We don't need this field, and even here we don't need this anymore, because the first of all we searched the you know what does it mean? What does it mean? Do you know what does it mean? First of all, we went to that table, we searched the table which then first name equals the parameter that is in the text first name field, and the last name is equals that the txt last name text boxes. After that, finding the ID, after finding that ID of that record, I'm gonna use that ID to delete that record here. So we're almost done. And for the update, it happens the same thing. For update happens the same thing. Just gonna copy this insert here. I'm gonna just a little bit change here. Just copy here, and I'm going to I'm just gonna copy that. Yeah. Let's just show you how to send a parameter in a SQL management. It's very important how to use this command here. So I'm just gonna update TBL user and set first name equals, I'm going to use parameter, for example this first, and last name equals L. I'm just mycn, sorry. Okay, and now I'm gonna have to use a parameter here. So I'm gonna just call this SQL Manager has something, mycm has something in the name of mycm. Sorry. mycm dot parameter dot add with value. Actually, I'm gonna, the first one was f, and it's called a txt first name text dot string. I'm gonna call this, and again Ctrl C, copy paste. L, I'm going to call this txt last txt last name. So it's okay. Let's back to work. Sorry about deleting the, I need this form in order to have an ID to in order to update our database here. So you remember what we type here? Update TBL set the first name and last name where ID equals, for example, no, actually we don't need this. Yeah, I'm going to because of the my type of ID in database is int, so I'm gonna to convert the text property of the value of the txt ID into int. So I'm going to type int dot parse. I'm just gonna txt id dot text dot trim, just okay. So everything is fine. I declared our parameters here, and I have my condition here, I have my connection here, and I have open and close it and show info. Let's just start it. Just make sure it's work here. The first of all, I'm gonna just type and add a new data here. Save. I'm just gonna call it. Let's call it rain. Just update it. Sorry, actually, for updating we don't use and we need comma here. Sorry for wasting time. Actually, we need to call it bbb update. So see here, changes applied here. So I'm gonna just call it again Wayne. Now just update this field. Okay, note the IDs comes here, and I'm just gonna ID JJ, just update. See, the changes applied here. The ID set has become JJJ, so it's okay. So our application is completely done, but I'm gonna show you how to filter our data grid. It's very important when there is 1,000 of the numbers, name, last name. How we can find our how can we find our target here? So we need to have a function in order to actually filter our data grid. How to filter our data grid? I'm gonna just write in a function which is, I have in a text box. I'm going to use it as a text box filter, which we type here. We type our data here, and something actually the text change of this event of this text property, this control property, filter our data and show it in our data grid. So I'm just going to event here, select this one. I'm just going to, and under exactly text change is here, click text change event. So I have my here. Now I'm going to filter my command here. So the first thing, I'm gonna make sure that if this text box is empty, actually is not, the data should show all the data. If something type here, for example I type B, it should filter all the names with a start with B. Okay, so I'm going to here and declare another SQL command. SQL command is equal to be my cn again. It's going to be new SQL command. Just start here. So, and again I'm going to initialize it and type my cn. Okay, so in order to find all the data which is a similar the character in that text box, if we have something in the name of like in our select command, I'm going to type select command. Select start from TBL user, which is our table name. Hello. TBL user, and where our condition where first name. I'm going to I'm gonna filter all the first name with start with some special character. The first name. First name, and our first name, the keyword is like, quotation, double quotation, plus tag quotation. So I'm going to just call it txt first name dot text dot trim. So I have it here. So I am function here. I have like. I'm just gonna type person and just this. Now this command this command goes to the database and search all the records which start and all the records with the first names, their first name, the first character is like this character. For example, all whatever we type in that text box field, this person shows that is a like, it's a one property of this command. Okay, so I'm going to, and for the restarting, I'm going to show that to datagrid. I'm going to show that in datagrid view. So for that, I'm going to restart my data table. So I'm going to mycn dot open, close it. I'm going to mycn dot execute non-query. So I'm going to declare another data table, If I use that data table which I use on the top of that window, they conflict with each other and show something bad happen. Okay, I'm just gonna declare another data table equals to dt1 equals new dt1. So and a SQL adapter 2 in order to fill this command to data adapter, and after that we use the fill function of the data adapter in order to fill this query into data table and use it as a data source in datagrid. I'm just gonna data adapter is going to daa equals new, actually here, which is mycn dot command text in mycn, okay, which is our connection here. I'm going to fill that my data which I read from that table which in our database. I'm gonna call it, I'm just type here and dt1, yes, here, and datagrid dot data source equals dt1, and I'm gonna update the data grid. So I'm gonna just show info. So our application is completely done. Now it should filter our data. No, sorry, just I'm going to use the data filter, txt filter. Actually, I'm just gonna txt filter. Okay, txt filter dot trim. Okay, just txt filter dot text dot trim. Oh, sorry, the plus I missed here. So start. Let's just add some field here. Okay, just first of all delete them. So I'm gonna just call b save, ea save, ea save. I'm gonna save save e save. So now I'm going to show you, I'm going to filter my data. I'm going to just know all the names, all the first name which start with B. Let's type B. something nothing happens. So this is sorry. Sorry, I have to close this. My connection actually my cn dot close. Now it should probably work. I'm gonna check this. I'm just gonna call b again now. So let's actually I made a mistake about this function. Actually, when the first hour I called the show info, which I shouldn't call this, because it's come here and start reading the information and fill it in data adapter, and again we show when it wants to show data on data grid. Something happened. I call this function because of this function comes here and again start reading all the information without any filter. So my function didn't work very good, so I'm just gonna delete here and I started here. This I'm gonna filter all the F's. What the fuck is sorry, what's happened? Actually I made a mistake about btn update and txt filter. So started. Actually now I'm gonna just stop it. B, so you see that all information was filtered. BA is filtered just the first names which start with BA. I'm just gonna go deeper and just TP. Yeah, we got one field which start BAA. Wait, that's all. When we back, all the information is back again. So let's start with F. It filter all the data which start with F. So now we see that you see that in this application, searching doesn't mean is meaningless. Searching is meaningless because if you have a perfect UI here, which can start and filtering data with this one. So we can work on your app. Actually, you can work on your design and make it better. Actually, make it beautiful or something. And the last thing, I use trick here. I use this text box property as a just in order to search my property here. So I'm just gonna make it invisible, so the user cannot see this. But actually, it work. You know. For example, this one I just gonna delete this. Delete. It's deleted. It's just deleted. How function the BBB, which is 13. I'm gonna delete this. So delete it. The first is go to the query. The query goes to database and search all the fields which the first name is equal the text property of the text first name and the last name of that record is that the text property of txt last name. So it's search all information and find that ID and send that ID as a parameter to that this command. So we have two SQL command in one query. So it's a little bit complicated. In future you will get more familiar with this kind of query, because if you want to continue to the ADO.NET, you're going to learn all of this. Maybe because of these are basic information about it. So some of the query is something like actually I had a query 2 pages. It's a very long query. These are a simple query. Just we have 3 fields: ID, first name, last name. It's very simple. Okay, but in future you're going to practice more, and don't forget to comment this application. I'll be very happy. Thank you so much for watching.